and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am delighted to welcome you all to the 6th International Procurement and Supply Chain Conference 2021, presented by Blue Ocean Conferences.
This is the biggest gathering I've seen since the beginning of the pandemic. I congratulate you on the selection of the theme of this conference: One World, One Supply Chain, Evolution of Connected Global Supply Chain Community. As I said, it goes very well with also the theme of the Expo.
So how are customer-centric warehousing strategies playing a crucial role in elevating supply chain value? What are the forces driving an agile and flexible warehouse design? To take us through this discussion, please welcome to the stage the COO of Mohebi Logistics, Mr. Phil Showering, to the stage.
Just to introduce myself, I'm Phil Showering. I'm the COO of Mohebi Logistics. I've had the privilege of being in the UAE for about 15 years, and lots of the things that we've seen being worked on have actually been delivered over those years. And one thing I've learned about the UAE is that we keep things very quiet. We're very understated within what we do. So, as I said, Mohebi Logistics is a vertically integrated supply chain solution provider. And really, just what I'm going to talk to you about is a little bit about what we do, and a little about, more importantly, about what you do, and what you can do, and what your customers actually want, rather than me as a 3PL giving you what I want to sell. So, we have a strategy on warehousing. So, what strategy is right for one customer is not right for all. So what do we want to stock? Do we really know what we want to stock and how we want to fulfill it? So do we want to fulfill every vertical? And when do we want to fill it? When do we want to fill it? Just in time? Do we want to hold lots of stock? Do we want to hold regionally, locally? And where should we keep it? So I put these very simple questions, see if I can make it work twice. So we see lots of different providers. So we see providers, so we work with, it was interesting to hear about local manufacture. We work with local manufacturers for many, many years, who are also international brands. So do you hold the stock regionally, local, retail, HoReCa? Where do you hold it? So do you hold it all together? Do you hold it physically together, but logically separate? So we use the systems that we have, whether that be ERPs, WMS, TMS, lots of other acronyms we could use, but we use smart technology. And those technologies already exist here. So we work in the food field, we work in cosmetics fields, and they are more and more about integration, that we cooperate with our partners. Gone are the old days of a 3PL not working with other 3PLs. So we might be a specialist in warehousing, we'll work with a last mile provider on e-com. Which elements do we want to be good at? But most importantly, what is best for our customers? And when do we fulfill it? When do we fill it? Do we fulfill it just in time? Or do we do some preventative planning? So within our supply chains, we handle manufacturing. So I'll lay orders off to manufacturers. I'll bring the stock from Europe or locally. I'll consolidate it in a warehouse, and then I might re-export some. I'll deliver it to retail, I'll deliver it to HoReCa, and I'll deliver it to e-com. And I heard some interesting ones about food supply chains. So the ultimate food supply chain, when I came here many, many years ago, was next to every mosque, you have a mosque shop. You have the ultimate. You can call that mosque shop, you can be there within 5 minutes. What we are trying to recreate is a systemized version for everyone to be part of. Or do we have stock just in case? So what the pandemic, lots of people said, you work from home for a long time. Ourselves in the food business and supporting governments, we were at work. We delivered right through the pandemic. From start day one, we never missed a beat for anyone. So many of the brands we represent and work with, you buy every day and you consume. And those ingredients and those products were still with you. And they were fulfilled in the manner that you wanted them. You wanted them delivered to home, you wanted to buy them from your local shop. So, when we actually fulfill, what is important to us? Because what is important to me as a 3PL is making money and keeping my customers happy. But what about the customers you have? So the customers you have, is it margin? Is it all about service? When costs can get away with themselves? And then what methods do you use? And kind of finally, really it was what I said at the outset. So when we build warehousing, and Cobus talked about it just before me, so within our warehouses and as part of our sustainability, whereas many years ago, when we first came, we used to have lots of stock, we put it all away, we keep it for a long time. Now, we bring stock straight in, over the bank, we'll bring fruit and veg just in time, we'll bring drinks just in time. We're starting to bring some short life chill just in time. We pick it in a different manner. We use AI to tell us what those volume fluctuations are. So we plan the necessary resource to actually be there, whether that's physical resource, people resource, and all those other elements. And then you also manage all the financials that sit around it. So you settle supplier, you order from supplier. That money sat in the warehouse is often your own. And in our case, it's quite a lot of it is our own. And then you also do the other enhanced services for those customers. So you can be flexible and you can switch between streams. And you are smart. You must be smart and you must understand what your customer actually wants and tailor that solution to what your customer wants, and you will build very long-term, very engaged, very integrated partnerships. And that's my recommendation for you all. Thank you very much for your time.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Phil, if I could please ask you to stay back. I'm going to ask Mr. Mohammed Al Ali, of course our Managing Director and Head of Cash Management at First Abu Dhabi Bank and the Vice Chairman of Blue Ocean Academy, and Mr. Percy Jal, Engineer, Senior Director, Academics at Blue Ocean Academy, to show their gratitude. Thank you so much.